With Atlas for 7 years, whenever a girl pesters him, he will give me a diamond ring for fear that I will misunderstand. For 7 years, my jewelry box was filled with all kinds of diamond rings he collected from all over the world. Each one is priceless, unique, and sparkles brilliantly under the light. A few days ago, he put a 6-carat pink diamond on my hand again. I know that he spent $13 million to customize it. I looked at the shining pink and smiled self-deprecatingly. Atlas. Let's break up. Atlas had just returned home from discussing a project in Shanghai, and he put a diamond ring on the ring finger of my left hand, a 6-carat pink diamond. It is a high-end custom-made model limited in the world, and one piece costs $13 million, which is very valuable. My stomach was churning and I felt nauseous. I took out the anti-inflammatory medicine prescribed by the doctor and took 2 tablets. Atlas put the back of his hand on my forehead and asked worriedly, "Are you sick? Didn't we agree to go to a concert a few days ago? I'll book the tickets right away, and when you're feeling better, I'll go with you." I shook his hand off. "No, that was their last concert. There won't be any more. I even planned this concert a year in advance." I told him the date and he agreed to go with me. But on the day of departure, he said he had to discuss business and couldn't go. Atlas frowned, looking guilty. "I'm sorry, I really know I was wrong. I promised you something but I can't do it, but this project was agreed to by the partner with great difficulty, so I have to go." After 7 years of dating, everyone felt that I was being held in his hands and cared for. He cares a lot about my feelings, every time, no matter whether he is wrong or not. He will give in and apologize proactively. His self-blame made me wonder if I had gone too far. "Elodie, I'm going to buy you their collector's edition CD right now. Don't be angry, okay? I'll agree to whatever you want me to do in the future." As soon as he finished speaking, someone sent him a text message. He went into the kitchen to get something to eat and replied to messages there. When he came out, his face looked unnatural. When the partner comes to inspect the project, I have to receive him personally. I pulled at the corner of his clothes. "The other boss loves to eat lotus cakes, so I brought him some that you made from the kitchen. I'm showing my hospitality. Be good and wait for me to come back." As he said this, he went to the bedroom, changed into a suit, and sprayed some fresh perfume. I couldn't even find any clues on the phone he placed on the coffee table, and all the chat records on all the apps had been deleted. It seems that I am too suspicious. And in his encrypted Douyin collection, I saw a beautiful girl with delicate and beautiful looks. Her smile is like a coquettish cat, her eyes are as bright as stars, and as beautiful as the deepest flame in the dark night. She looks similar to me. The first few videos on her homepage were shot in Shanghai. The hand that she held tightly in the video was wearing the same couple ring as mine. In the pinned video, she wore the pink diamond ring Atlas gave me and wrote, "Pink diamonds are too vulgar. I asked my dear to throw them away and buy me my favorite blue ocean heart. The holiday is to be spent with the man I love the most. Love you." I recorded the video with my phone and sent it to my childhood friend, and deleted all viewing records. Before he came out of the bedroom, I put his cell phone back where it was and took out his polished leather shoes and placed them in the entrance hall. There is a new diamond ring in the jewelry box. As long as he can attract a lot of girls, if Atlas is pursued by a girl, he will be afraid that I will misunderstand him, so he will collect all kinds of exquisite diamond rings for me. He told me that I was his girlfriend of many years, and although he had done nothing wrong, he just wanted to reassure me and make me understand that I was the only one in his heart. He loves me in a way that all the money in the world can't compare to. "I hope you can buy me the most precious diamond ring in the world to make me happy." The huge jewelry box was filled with 136 diamond rings. It had been 7 years, and I never imagined that he had been afraid of my misunderstanding 136 times. My thoughts were pulled back to the past, and my childhood friend immediately called me via video. Atlas didn't go out for the social event at all. He was just in the underground parking lot in my community. Soon, he took long steps towards the girl in the TikTok video. The girl jumped for joy and threw herself into his arms with a smile as beautiful as a flower. He lifted her chin lovingly and leaned over to kiss her passionately. In the dim parking lot, the lights cast a hazy shadow. The handsome man and the beautiful woman embraced each other quietly. as if time had stopped at this moment. She is tall and slender, with long hair cascading down her shoulders, eyes as clear as autumn water, and delicate lips slightly parted. If he wasn't my boyfriend, I would really think they are a perfect match. After lingering for a long time, Atlas finally let her go reluctantly and took out a red jewelry box from his pocket. You said you like gold jewelry, so I brought it specially for you. I'm sure you'll be surprised. Thank you. The company team building event tomorrow night is so important. I wonder if I can wear it with you. The girl cautiously tested. Of course. Atlas stood tall as a pine tree, his deep eyes full of tenderness. Just don't damage it. I'm just borrowing it. I'll have to return it to Elodician after the party is over. My breath caught. I do have a lot of gold jewelry, and I can't tell which one he took. The girl leaned in his arms and started to act coquettishly. I know, you don't have to remind me all the time. She hugged Atlas' arm and walked into the elevator, her voice soft and sticky. Atlas, I don't know why I feel uncomfortable in my chest recently. You must help me see what's going on when we get upstairs. They took the elevator upstairs. My childhood friend walked to the elevator and started taking pictures of the elevator floors. The elevator stopped at the 8th floor. And my home is on the 9th floor. When he climbed the stairs to the 8th floor, he could only hear the sound of keys turning outside at the stairs, but could not take any pictures of anyone. Atlas, is it because your girlfriend doesn't usually help you calm down that you get so anxious every time you see me? An ambiguous atmosphere lingered in the air. Atlas snorted in displeasure. Sage, the girl panted. Okay, I understand. I can't say bad things about her behind her back, right? The sound of rapid breathing filled the corridor, but stopped abruptly the moment the door closed. My childhood friend didn't have the key, so he couldn't get in and could only wait for my response at the door. My face turned pale and my hands, which were holding the phone tightly, couldn't help shaking. Elodie, do you want to wait for them to come out and see where the girl lives? No, the parking lot was dark just now, and I couldn't see the style of the gold necklace clearly. Did you take a photo or something? Yes. But the girl put it away, so I didn't take the photo of the gold necklace. My heart ached, hot tears rolled down from the corners of my eyes, and I curled up tightly on the sofa. Sage, once upon a time, Atlas forbade anyone to mention her name. Atlas's good friend told me that he once had a deeply loved first love named Sage. She is gentle and virtuous, but for some reason Atlas' mother hates Sage very much and does not allow them to be together. 8 years ago, Sage's father forced her to marry the CEO of a well-known company in Paris. During the wedding, Atlas' mother saw Sage in the lounge, crying in Atlas' arms, with her clothes in disarray. Sage even said that as long as Atlas' mother agreed, she would be willing to cancel the engagement immediately and elope with Atlas. Atlas' mother was furious and sent her son back home, forbidding him to meet Sage again. Sage settled abroad, got married and had children. Atlas was devastated for a whole year, and finally after seeing me, who looked like Sage, he felt healed. The funny thing is, it wasn't until this moment that I realized I was just a stand-in for Sage. The real culprit has appeared, so should I get away with it? I held the pink diamond up to the sunlight again and again. Such a valuable diamond ring is indeed worthy of Sage. Atlas came back to my bedroom in the middle of the night. He thought I was asleep. The strong smell of alcohol irritated my nostrils, followed by the sound of his snoring. His phone was silent, and the screen lit up again and again as several messages came in. When he reached the top, Sage asked him how he was doing. And if he was drunk, he might as well just sleep over at her place. Atlas, a long separation is better than a new marriage. I want you to think about me, Sage, then tell me clearly, do you want me to think about you as a person, or about your body? I want to take you to see the kingdom I have built for you during the company team building tomorrow night. I felt a bitterness welling up in my heart. Half a month ago, Atlas told me that the company was holding a team building and wanted to bring me along so that the employees could meet the future boss's wife. As a result, he said yesterday that the team building would not be held. In fact, the team building was held as usual. He just didn't want to go with me. The location for their team building event was set at a luxurious KTV on Huashi Road, and I arrived as scheduled. The company had been established for 2 years and had many employees. But no one had actually met me. Atlas entered the venue amid cheers, holding the shy Sage's hand and not wanting to let go. Her long chestnut hair like seaweed was casually draped behind her. Her fair skin looked even more smooth under the light. Her delicate facial features were gorgeous and otherworldly, and the teardrop mole at the corner of her eye gave people a cool and elegant feeling. Paired with that exquisite gold necklace, the whole person looks even more noble and imposing. The employees were whispering to each other, all discussing how beautiful the future boss's wife was. I couldn't help but move forward. The lights were dim and no one paid attention to me in a black dress. The moment I saw the necklace on her neck, my pupils suddenly contracted. That's my mother's relic. I took a quick step forward and poured the wine in my hand directly onto Sage's face. Before she could react, he kicked her to the ground. Who gave you the guts to steal my necklace? Take it off and give it back to me right now. My mother is the best person in the world to me. This necklace was her favorite when she was alive and she always wore it. After she passed away, I locked the gold necklace in a safe and took it to the jewelry shop for maintenance every year. I was reluctant to wear it. Last year, an employee of a jewelry store accidentally dropped my necklace on the ground. I cried secretly for a long time because of this. But why did Sage do that? Wearing the precious relic my mother left me casually around my neck, Sage, who was once the center of attention, fell from the altar in an instant. She cried bitterly, leaned against Atlas, held his arm and trembled all over. Atlas obviously didn't expect me to come. He pushed Sage away and walked towards me. Elodition, this is all a misunderstanding. Sage refused to give in. He stood up and hugged Atlas tightly from behind, not allowing him to get any closer to me. Sage's head lovingly. Sage looked at him pitifully. Her knee was bruised and swollen where I kicked her. She bit her red lips in pain, making her look even more lovable. Atlas hesitated to speak, and finally couldn't bear to say anything harsh to her. He came over and grabbed my hand and said urgently, Elodition, don't think too much. This is my good friend. My heart skipped a beat. Atlas, I don't care what kind of bad friends you want to make. I order you to return my necklace to me immediately. Atlas subconsciously protected Sage. Can you please stop being unreasonable? She is my good friend. What's wrong with lending her your things? It's not like I won't return them to you. Taking something without asking is stealing. I frowned and glared at them fiercely. You are committing a crime. Give it back to me immediately. Atlas, did I ever tell you about the origin of this necklace? Men I don't want can be thrown away as trash. But this necklace means a lot to me. And she can't even touch it. Atlas' eyes darkened, and a fierce look flashed across his eyes. Sage grabbed my arm and started crying. You are Elodie, right? I'm sorry. I told Atlas that I like gold jewelry, but I didn't bring it with me when I returned home. I saw your beautiful gold necklace in his photo, so I asked him to borrow it from you. I'm sorry. Just blame me. Don't blame him, okay? I slapped her face with all my strength. Okay, it's okay if you let me blame you. Now I'm very angry. You'd better take off the necklace and return it to me immediately. I reached out to take off the necklace, but she stepped back and fell onto Atlas. Atlas gently checked her injuries, and his eyes became sharp when he turned to look at me. Elodition, have you had enough of this? It's just a necklace. Why do you have to do this? This is my good friend. You hit her like this in front of others. Doesn't she have any dignity? I clenched my fingers into fists until my knuckles turned white. She held hands and made out with my boyfriend in front of his employees, and even snatched my necklace and put it on without my permission. Do I need to give face to such a person? Where do you get the face to do that? Sage sobbed and raised her head from Atlas' neck. Okay, I'll return it to you. Okay, I'm sorry to have wronged you. Atlas' voice was gentle, as if he was protecting some rare treasure. I will order the best-looking style for you right away. He carefully took off his gold necklace and asked his secretary to buy her 10 new styles just to make Sage smile. The employees had complicated expressions and all expressed sympathy towards me. I sat opposite them, like the most humble clown in love. The light from the KTV flashed across the necklace in the red brocade box. My hands froze, the color on my face instantly drained away, and I walked over and grabbed Sage's shoulders. Atlas pushed me and pulled her into his arms. Elodition, don't go too far. I've returned all your things to you. What else do you want? I ignored him and stared at Elodie's slightly smug face. Did you take your gold necklace to have it altered? Sage's eyes evaded and his sobbing stopped abruptly. She snatched the red brocade box and closed the lid. Atlas couldn't help but look at her a few times and opened the brocade box in her hand again. Sage, didn't I tell you that I was just borrowing it? How could you change the style of it? Sage cried. I was wrong. I just saw that the necklace was old-fashioned. So I took it to the jewelry store and asked them to change it to some trendy elements. I thought that although Elodie is much older than me, she would definitely like the new style. So I thought of giving her a surprise. Her eyes were filled with tears and she looked miserable and unable to take care of herself. But the cunning and sarcasm on his face were still exposed. I've long lost my patience. This necklace is a token of love between my father and mother. It has witnessed their entire process from knowing each other and falling in love to getting married and having children. I usually can't bear to take it out to look at it. But she actually had the guts to change the style of the necklace. Even if it is made back to the original style, it will no longer be the original necklace. Now the necklace is almost meaningless. I got so angry that I scratched Sage's face with my nails. Atlas held my waist tightly and refused to let go. My chest heaved rapidly, and the anger had already reached my throat, so I scratched Atlas' face hard, leaving a bloody mark. Blood dripped onto the ground. Atlas looked at me in a daze. The box was so quiet that you could hear a pin drop. Sage screamed and ran up, at a loss. It's just an old gold necklace. Atlas gave you things worth more than this. How can you be so ungrateful as to hurt him? She took out the necklace Atlas had just given her and spread it in front of me. I'll give you this one for 10,000. Okay, how about 2? Atlas took a deep breath and pointed at the door. Enough. Shut up, Sage. Go home immediately. Sage's eyes were wet and red. Like a wounded deer. It's dark outside. I'm worried it's not safe for you to go home alone. Can I take you home first? Atlas looked miserable. No, I can do it myself. Sage stared at him in disbelief for a long moment. She hopes the man will soften his heart and change his mind to keep her. But she overestimated her position in Atlas' heart. His biggest partner is my childhood friend, and he must please me. Sage finally stumbled out of the box. I took a taxi home. And Atlas insisted on following me and kept pestering me all the way home. I shut him out, packed his luggage and threw him out, and broke up with him. Didn't you say you would agree to whatever I asked you to do in the future? I want to break up with you. Get out of my sight right now and never show up again. I started dating Atlas. Atlas's mother has always treated me as her own daughter. She is my mother's best friend and feels that it is her responsibility to take good care of me for her. Atlas started his own business. His mother first reassured me, saying that men inevitably need to socialize in order to make money, and there are many beautiful women around them. But her son is an honest man and will definitely put me first and will not do anything rash. She told me not to care too much about those girls and that the most important thing was to live my own life well. Atlas is just like what Atlas's mother said. He always puts me first at all times. No matter how the girls around him pester him or do outrageous things, he won't even look at them. He is only concerned with trying to please me, fearing that I will misunderstand. But is this really the case? We used to talk about everything, but now I felt annoyed when we only called each other every 2 or 3 days. The occasional visits to my house seemed like a mission. He came drunk every night, slept, and disappeared the next morning. I tolerated it all. I don't even mind that he forgot to promise me about the concert, but he lent my mom's belongings to Sage without my permission, which is disrespectful to me and my mom. I will never forgive him again. Atlas's face was gloomy. Elodie, think it through. You have been with me for 7 years, and all our relatives and friends know about it. You are not young anymore. If you leave me, who will want you? Don't worry about whether there is anyone you want. But I will definitely not be with you. My mother's quiet and gentle appearance always appears before my eyes. She and my father supported each other and had a very good relationship. From the time they got married until her death, my father always held her in his hands and cared for her. Once upon a time, I thought I would be able to find such a relationship in the future. My mom and Atlas' mom are best friends. They have known each other since they wore open-crotch pants. She also likes gold jewelry. including this necklace that my mother loves so much, but she never dares to ask me for it, even to take a look at it, and Atlas easily stole it and put it on another woman, who gave him the courage." Atlas sighed. "Elodician, I can explain. Sage and I are just good friends. She's married abroad and has an 8-year-old child. She came back just for vacation this time, nothing else, as her old friend. It's only right for me to play the role of a good host and take her out to relax. How about this? If she goes back abroad, I will cut off contact with her. Will you be satisfied with this?" Atlas took out the spare key and opened the door and came back in the moment I kicked him out. I simply confiscated his keys, pushed him out, and locked the door again. While he was not paying attention downstairs, I left the community through the back door with my suitcase. My mother passed away early. And my father has a fortune of hundreds of billions. He has treated me like the apple of his eye since I was a child. Atlas' mother likes me not only because I am well behaved and sensible, and not just because I am my mother's daughter, but also because my company can bring huge benefits to Atlas. My dad knew that if I married Atlas, Atlas's mother would definitely not treat me badly. But Atlas was gentle and handsome, and he always had romantic encounters around him. I was still young at that time and didn't know how to guess people's hearts. I simply thought that Atlas loved me too, so I had to be with the person I loved. His and his mother's attitude also makes me yearn for married life. But I didn't expect that we would separate decisively before we even entered the marriage hall. It turns out that the real departure is not a grand one, but a silent one that never appears again. The day after I left home, the surveillance video at the door indicated that someone rang the doorbell. In the video, Sage was holding Atlas' hand, and they came to me angrily. Atlas banged on the door like crazy, shouting, "Elodician, come out and explain yourself. Did you go to my mom and tell her that Momo was a mistress? Did you know that my mom took back all the properties under my name? Now Momo is homeless. How can you bully her? She's homeless, isn't that great?" I used my phone to remotely open the doorbell and make a video call. I stared at them coldly and said, "This is your family affair. What does it have to do with me?" Atlas' mother has always been strict with Atlas. Needless to say, she knows everything about his whereabouts. Sage and I. There's no need to ask Atlas's mother that she would choose to keep me. But Atlas' heart is with her, so how could he compromise easily? I sneered disdainfully. "Atlas, you brought her with you and her luggage. It's not enough that you cheated on me, so you want me to take her in, right? A lowly person is invincible. I've seen it today." Sage hid behind Atlas as if frightened and put his arms around his waist. "Sister, I really have nowhere to go. I promise you I will only stay here for a few days. I will move out as soon as I find a suitable house. Is that okay?" I raised my eyes lazily. "No, the sight of you makes me lose my appetite." She looked pale and slightly unhappy. "I heard that you broke up with brother Atlas. This house was given to you by him before, so it's his thing anyway." I glared at her in disgust. "What does this have to do with you? If I tell you to get out, you have to disappear from my sight without stopping." Sage covered her face and sobbed, feeling very aggrieved. Atlas didn't tell her that he gave me this house because my father helped to provide the funds for his startup, since he made money. Shouldn't I give him some dividends? Atlas hugged Sage and patted her back soothingly. He brought her to the company president's office and asked her to move in directly. And he didn't forget to send me messages to make fun of me. "Elodician, Sage is still my good friend after all. When you do things, you'd better leave yourself a way out." When I went to the company to arrange my resignation, Atlas was out discussing a project. Sage heard that I was coming to the company. He couldn't wait to join in the fun and see me make a fool of myself. Atlas was not in the company, so she put on a haughty look. When she saw the expensive pink diamond ring on my hand, she was so angry that she even asked me to take it off and give it to her. "Elodician, you are shameless. You have already taken brother Atlas's house. How can you not return all his gifts after breaking up?" I turned around and slapped her in the face so hard that my palm was burning with pain. I lifted her small chin and looked down at her. "So you like these diamond rings? Do you think I owe Atlas? In fact, these are just compensation. Do you want me to return them so that he can give them to you? As long as you become his girlfriend, won't you be able to have as many diamond rings as you want in the future?" After 7 years, When I took those 136 diamond rings to the specialty store for recycling, I actually got hundreds of millions. Sage called me a Philistine and asked Atlas to settle the score with me and get the money back. Atlas didn't care about the hundreds of millions at all. He began to realize that I was determined to leave him, and rushed to the store in a panic. I wanted to leave, but he blocked the door and wouldn't let me go. Elodician, can you please stop being childish? There's really nothing between Sage and me. She will be going abroad soon. We will be as loving as before. Didn't you say you loved me the most? I will never let you go. I don't want to break up with you, I said indifferently. Perhaps my love for you has completely disappeared since you gave me the first diamond ring. It doesn't matter if you don't want to admit the breakup. It's over between us. Atlas held me tightly in his arms. I bit his shoulders hard, but he frowned and refused to let go. Sage, who was chasing after her from a distance, was in tears. She took out her cell phone and saw a photo of an 8-year-old girl lying on a hospital bed receiving an IV drip, her lips pale. Sage knelt on the ground and asked Atlas for help. Atlas, please accompany me to the hospital. Our little treasure is sick. I took a deep breath, and the air that entered my mouth felt like a knife cutting me. Atlas was stunned. Sage was crying and shaking all over. Atlas still held me in his arms, but he was much more relaxed. I pushed him down viciously and walked out without looking back. Elodician. Atlas' voice broke. Sage's intermittent sobbing was heard, and she screamed heartbreakingly, Atlas, Xiaobao has pneumonia and is in the hospital with a high fever. She is our daughter. You can't just sit there and do nothing. On the way back to the old house, it felt like someone had punched a hole in my heart. I had an unprecedented empty feeling and couldn't even cry. We have been together for 7 years. It would be a lie to say that I have never loved someone, but I never thought I could be so completely desperate. After speeding all the way, my father and the servants were already waiting for me at the door of the old house. The familiar warm smile and his cup of warm and comfortable hot tea made my eyes so sore and swollen that I almost cried. My heart hurts so much. My father didn't ask me any questions, he just chatted with me about family matters. He asked me to eat more and asked the chef to make my favorite lotus crisps in the evening. Come home more often when you're tired. Dad will always be your strongest supporter. I closed my eyes and dared not open them, for fear of tears falling. After a good sleep, when I woke up, there were guests at home. Atlas' parents sat in the living room and kept apologizing to my dad, saying that I had been wronged. Atlas's mother held my hand and said with an ugly look, Atlas was inconsiderate in this matter. You refused to forgive him. I stand on your side. Why should we suffer for such a scumbag? How powerful a close friend like Atlas's mom would be when my mom was still alive. When Atlas started his business, Atlas' mother asked him to give me 80% of the company's shares. She originally wanted to give it all to me, but I felt it was inappropriate. So she had to give in and give me this much. She and my mother are best friends and have very similar personalities. It seemed like in an instant, I saw my mother appear before me. I burst into tears and threw myself into her arms. Auntie, Xiaobao is the daughter of Atlas and Sage. Atlas' mother paused. She gnashed her teeth in hatred. Okay, I didn't let him get close to that white lotus, but he insisted on going against me. Now that he has made a mess, let him clean it up himself. Anyway, I will never admit that she is a member of the GU family. In the 3rd year of our relationship, Atlas proposed to me and put the first diamond ring on my left ring finger. That evening, I saw him coming out of the Chanel counter with a short-haired girl, talking and laughing, and he picked the crabapple flowers from her temples. He swore that the girl was a salesperson and they were just friends who got along well. In order to reassure me, he even proposed to me. But my mind started to get confused. In the next few proposals, I made my position clear. We both love freedom and should not be bound by marriage. Let's wait a little longer. Atlas's mother spoiled me and never forced me. Atlas started to find me an exquisite diamond ring in various ways, but never mentioned marriage. I never thought that he had already started a family outside, with a beautiful wife and a lovely daughter. Atlas' parents left angrily. Even if Sage could successfully give birth to Atlas' child, she would still not be able to step into the GU family's door, because Sage and Atlas' mother also has an unknown past. I heard from others that Atlas was not an only child. He once had an older brother, Sage, who is not good at swimming, fell in love prematurely. After being dumped, she drank alcohol and wanted to die. She jumped into the water and started to call for help. Atlas' brother happened to pass by after school and jumped into the water without hesitation to pull her out, but he was pushed into the water by the drunk Sage and choked to death. In the end, Sage was rescued and blamed his brother for meddling in other people's business. Atlas' mother checked the road surveillance and learned the truth. She hated the vicious Sage, but she never thought that many years later, Atlas would fall in love with her and even want to marry her. Atlas' mother is decisive and ruthless in her actions. Anyone she doesn't like will never be able to please her in her entire life. I don't know when it started, but Atlas stopped accompanying Sage and his daughter and waited for me to show up at my door every day. He slapped himself in front of me and begged for my forgiveness. Elodician, it's all my fault. I just realized that you're the only one I love. I got xiaobao because of my drunken impulse. I asked Sage to abort the baby. I never thought she would give birth to the baby secretly. If you don't like them, I will let them go back to Paris to live. After she came back, she kept pestering me, saying that she and Xiaobao had no place to live, so I took her in. At night, she shamelessly seduced me, and I couldn't control myself. Without even looking at him, I pressed the door code. You don't need to report your personal affairs to me. We have no relationship for a long time. The next day I heard that Sage and her daughter were kicked out of the company and ended up living on the streets. Sage's eyes were red and he sent me a long string of messages, cursing me profusely. I hold grudges, and anyone who hurts me must pay the price. That day I received Xiaobao's critical illness notice in the hospital. In the parents column on the list, the names of Sage and Atlas were written, and I also discovered a shocking secret. The reason why Sage was so arrogant after returning to China was because she got Atlas drunk and went with him to register for marriage using their ID cards. She was so anxious to become the young lady of the GU family that she even forgot that she had a husband who was married abroad. I saved the photo of them showing their marriage certificate on her secondary Weibo account, and contacted her husband in Paris, and kindly sent him Xiaobao's paternity test. If the circumstances of bigamy are serious, the offender may be sentenced to nearly 2 years in prison. Sage was arrested. Atlas and his children were blocking my door with a smile on their faces. Elodie, Sage is in jail. She schemed so badly against me, and now she's getting her comeuppance. He happily recounted the entire process of Sage being sued by her husband, as if it were someone else's family matter. Sage will be in prison for 2 years, but the child is innocent. Let's raise her together, okay? I will go through the divorce procedures with Sage right away, and we can have a son who will be Xiaobao's brother. I glanced at him with disdain. Atlas, don't you think too highly of yourself? Do you think I will rush to get close to you just because you're divorced? Elodie, I know you are jealous of Sage, but now she is gone, we should go back to the way we were before. Why am I jealous? I said expressionlessly. I have wanted to break up with you for a long time. I don't love you anymore. You thought those diamond rings you gave me were very thoughtful and that I would be very touched. Right, in fact, I am really disgusted by them. Those are all gifts discarded by your prey, so they ended up in my hands. How disgusting. Atlas frowned. What do you mean? I have invested a lot in you over the years. You can't just leave like that. Have you ever thought about how I feel? Oh, I see. You must have someone outside, right? Is it your childhood friend, or a male employee in the company? What did you do without telling me? You don't even have a child, do you? Bang! I slapped him in the face, a crisp and pleasant sound. Do you think everyone is as bad as you? He covered his face and turned back, his eyes surprised. How am I a scumbag? I just made a mistake that all men would make. I have held you in my hands and protected you all these years. Everyone knows that. Then I really want to thank you for your care over the years. You always find some young girls to take care of me together. I can't bear it. Please go away. His lower lip was bitten and a blood mark appeared. Elodician, believe me. Besides you, I only have Sage as a woman. The other women came to me on their own, and I didn't even touch them with my fingers. Which toilet did you just crawl out of? Your words are so disgusting. Stay away from me. His face turned cold instantly. And in the phone I was holding, There was a video of Atlas kissing a hot girl in and out of the hotel last night. 5 days later, Atlas was removed from his own company. Atlas' mother transferred the 20% of shares that she had insisted on holding to me and kicked Atlas out of the position of president of the company. She put her arm around my shoulders and told me to cheer up. You can take your time to find a man. But a woman must achieve financial independence to be a real winner in life. Auntie supports you dating someone else. My son is a good-for-nothing, so it's good for him to go out and hone his skills. He deserves it. The child was indeed innocent. Atlas' mother sent her to boarding school, hoping that she could get a good education. However, Atlas lived in a slum and couldn't even afford heating on snowy days. He no longer had time to date girls because he didn't know if he would have enough to eat his next meal. Having dropped out of junior high school, he couldn't even find a job and could only help wash dishes for acquaintances. He earned only 2,000 yuan a month and even had to count on his fingers when buying groceries. When we met again, my husband opened the door of the Rolls-Royce Phantom he gave me. I slowly got out of the car and faced Atlas, who was wearing tattered clothes and looked embarrassed. The young man's high spirits had long been worn away by life. He looked much older and had a lot of white hair. Some time later, he disappeared. The GU family is a large family, and their property cannot be left without an heir. So Gu's father adopted a godson from among his relatives, and after many twists and turns, he became my current husband. Gu's parents became my parents-in-law, and I took good care of them. My husband treated Xiaobao and I as his own daughters. She has now been admitted to a key high school and has excellent academic performance. Our son is in the 6th grade of elementary school and is lively and cute. The lonely Atlas had a face full of unshaved stubble. When he saw me, he turned around and tried to run away. I asked him to stay. My husband lives away from home and has never seen Atlas since he was a child. He asked me gently, "Is he your friend? Let's go out for dinner tonight. I'll treat you, well, an old friend. You go into the restaurant first. I'll be there in a bit." Atlas cried bitterly after her husband passed away. He confessed everything in the past. The pressure of life made him breathless. He also suffered from depression in the 2nd year after Sage committed suicide in prison. He once wanted to understand himself and was tortured by illness. Elodie, if I hadn't received Sage when he came back from abroad, would everything be different? You would marry me, right? I smiled and shook my head. No, disappointment never arises in an instant, but accumulates bit by bit every time a promise is made but not fulfilled. When the bubbles burst one by one, the last one to break is the heart that was once full of expectations. However, once you have calmed down, you have to start over. For the next person you meet, more for yourself. Let's cheer together.